So after a loss on Sunday to Tennessee, Ron Rivera, head coach of the Commanders, came out Monday, asked about the biggest problem with the team. He gave a one-word answer: quarterback. Ugh. He walked it back. He had a mea culpa. But there are certain mea culpas that just don't work. It's out there. O.J. Simpson can't do a mea culpa. Will Smith to Chris Rock, not really a mea culpa moment. I think Ron Rivera and Mike Zimmer and Bill Belichick and Vic Fangio and Brian Flores are your sort of classic archetypal defensive head coaches. And I'm not talking Woody Hayes of the 70s, but there's a way they want to win, and it's ball control, running game, and very few turnovers. I think that's something that really, really bothers a defensive coach, is the turnover, the interception. Pete Carroll, it just cannot get past turnovers. And the truth is, if they're between the 35s, they're just a change of possession, right? You don't want to turn it over at the 1 yard line, your territory or theirs. But because now there's no huddle, each offense gets about 12 to 15 more snaps per game. And over the course, Tom Brady's now throwing 45, 50 times a game. You're going to have an interception. You got to take the good with the bad. And I think a lot of these defensive coaches really struggle with it. Sean McVay knew when he brought in Matt Stafford. He threw picks. Matt Stafford was at times reckless. Joe Burrow throws interceptions. You know who doesn't? Aaron Rodgers. He can't get out of the first round. So my takeaway is Ron Rivera may apologize, but that's how he thinks. I mean, I've said this before. There are certain mistakes that it's like who you are, right? And you can apologize and you can genuinely feel bad about saying them, but it's what you believe. And I think the way Ron Rivera sees football is very much in line with a defensive coach in his 50s. And to him, Carson Wentz at times can be reckless. But I will note this. The Colts were 9th in scoring last year. Wentz leaves, they're 32nd. There is an upside to Carson Wentz. He is dynamic, whether Ron Rivera wants to acknowledge it or not. So let's touch on offensive coaches in college football. Because of Nick Saban's success and Kirby Smart's success, we view college football is still dominated by defensive men. It's interesting. I went and looked this morning. UCLA and USC, Pac-12's best teams, offensive head coaches, Chip Kelly, Lincoln Riley. Ryan Day, Ohio State, Jim Harbaugh, Michigan, James Franklin, Penn State, 3 best teams, all offensive coaches. The surprise team in the SEC, Tennessee, Josh Heupel, offense, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, offense. Best team in the Big 12 could be Oklahoma State, Mike Gundy, offense. TCU, undefeated, offensive head coach. Surprise team in the Big 12, Kansas, Lance Leopold, offensive head coach. Clemson, best ACC team, Dabo Swinney, offensive head coach. Folks, just because Nick Saban and Belichick have more rings and titles and, in Saban's case, more momentum, it is very clear. Pac-12, Big 12, Big 10, ACC, NFL. The game, the regulations, the rules, and the talent has moved. The fame and the money is on offense, and that's where the best players are going. Look at college football. Take out Saban. Kirby Smart's one of the few defensive guys crushing it. 9 of the top 11 college football teams in America today, offensive head coaches. Learn it, live it, love it.